Sometimes standing and chopping or standing at the sink, scrubbing dishes, it can get into the low back. So let's start off with the low back, hands onto the knees, round and arching and round and arching. This standing cat and cow feels really good when you take your hands onto the edge of the sink and just round and arch your back, pulling back away from the sink and pumping your shoulders. Step forward with your right foot, step back with the left, and just keep your hands back behind you. Just 5 easy breaths with the left leg lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. Spiral out into a warrior 2. 5 breaths. Roll out the wrist. Have you found yourself clenching your hands? Those chopping, trying to dice the onions in the perfect squares while not chopping off a finger. Cartwheel the hands down. Step the right feet back. Downward facing dog. Now have this be a soft dog. One with agenda that is different from alignment. What does that mean? Be very sloppy about your movements. Just come into an organic, kind of dancey, swinging the knees, and then come on down to a child's pose. Knees wide, hands wide, ricochet the torso from side to side. Walk over to the left, thereby opening up your whole right side. And then walk your hands over to the right. Push back. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Walk the feet forward. Hang heavy in the forward fold, again with the soft knees. Clasp the opposite elbows and swing your torso from left to right and right to left. Place the hands on the low back, bend the knees. Come up to stand, standing back bend. Shoulder roll 5 breaths. So in a standing back bend, it's just to give you a different orientation of the neck. With all of this chopping and preparing, sometimes we tilt our heads forward and lock our shoulders towards our ears, and then release. Left leg stays forward, right leg goes back. Just giving me a bend and a straighten. Bend and a straighten. Working through the right back quad 4 more times. Spiraling out into the warrior 2. And again, just rolling out the wrist. Warrior 2, second side. Good. And then cartwheeling the hands down. Step the left leg back. It's a lazy dog. It's a lazy dog that is much more about shaking through the feet, the hips, and bending and straightening the knees. One more child's pose here. Now this time let's have a twisted child's pose where you're bringing your right shoulder right ear to the floor and looking towards the left. Now this is a yummy left side quadratus lumborum. If you push your right knuckles down and then lean your hips to the left, but your shoulders to the right. Just hanging out here. Look either towards the ceiling or down towards the floor. Second side, left ear, left shoulder down. Moving your hips to the right and your shoulders to the left. This side is not as active as the other side was. Each side is going to give you a different register of stretch, but just feel your way into it. Stay onto the knees. Take your hands back behind you. A little bit of a half hero's pose. Shoulders back. From hero's pose, reclining hero's pose, go towards half of Ustrasana and then lower. Now, this could be too much for the tiny bones in your feet. Tender, tiny bones don't love to be stood upon. That's why we have blankets. If your knees are quite tender, take this in the cat and cow instead. But if you can, move the calf flesh out of the way, go back a little bit, and then give me what would be a pulsing modified reverse plank, a transitional hero's pose, just breathing. You're going to start to feel it in the triceps. Now, this sequence is really just to work through shoulders, low back, anything that is overburdened by cooking, okay? Take your thighs a little bit towards parallel. Curl the toes under. Go towards that standing back bend again, but this time on the knees. Oh, I feel that on one side. And then have a twisted Ustrasana. That's one set. Twisted Ustrasana. That's two. Twisted Ustrasana. That's three. Twisted Ustrasana. This will be the last one. Good. Now, one more. Take your right hand towards the ceiling, left hand towards the left Achilles tendon. Now remember this. I want you to feel this long body. See if you can keep the body this long. Stand onto the left kneecap. Take the right foot forward. Wrap the left elbow around the outer right knee and twist. Then please bring your left hand to the floor. Move that left leg back. Keep the right hand stacked into the back left hip. And then pivot and turn all the way to face the opposite wall. You're coming into a modified side plank. You're giving me 5 little pulses. With the right hand back behind you. Now this could be too much. Then you would just take the left knee, come here and hold, opening up the side. Pivot out. Left knee down, right hand reaches back. Get your strap or find your right hand holding your back left foot. Twisted monkey pose, 5, 4, inhaling, exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Half Hanuman, right leg straight, left hand pinky side of right foot. Now this might look like I'm most interested in stretching my hamstring. I'm really not. I'm looking for you to open your left side rib. So move your left hand way onto the outside of the right foot and turn your torso. Swing your right leg back and around and over to the left. Do you feel the theme here? We're getting all into those side ribs. Come back, knees down, hands back. Reclining quad stretch pose. Give me a couple of back plank, tricep, shoulder work. And then come up, curl the toes under. We're back in that Ustrasana. Maybe stretch for the ceiling. Now we're going to that second side. Step your left foot forward. Bring your right elbow deep on the outside of the left quad. Then right hand floor, turn sideways into what would be a modified side plank. Give me a couple little pulses there with your left shoulder tapped behind you into that back hip. One more. Spiral out, left hand, left knee. Right knee back, left hand finds back, right foot. Twisted monkey 5 breaths. Look up and over your left shoulder into the ceiling. So much planning, shopping, prepping, cleaning, researching goes into preparing a Thanksgiving holiday meal. And I just like to take a break. Straighten your front left leg. Windshield wiper the foot from side to side. Right hand holds pinky side of the left foot, and then move your ribs where? Your ribs are moving to the right so that you open into that right side. You can make a little bit more aggressive the hamstring stretch. Then both hands down, travel the left leg over towards the right side of the room and pulse. Child's pose again, toes to touch, knees wide. Now in this child's pose, instead of bringing your hands forward, let's bring your hands back and drop your head. 5 breaths here. Now, because I've been very, very targeted around the ribs, low back, please make 2 gentle fists of your hands. Go back into your child's pose and bring your hands to your low back and just beat along your low back. You're creating your very own hypervolt. Let's make a noise. Let's make this fun. And then fold. Reversed plank, reclining hero's pose, also with tricep dips. Now, come into the Ustrasana, arms up, back, inhale, hand to heel, and then hand to heel. Curl the toes under, twist. Shall we do the whole sequence again? I say yes, because it was so good. It's good to repeat the sequence twice. It gives your body a familiarity and a comfort that we don't get on the first round. Left leg stays, step the right leg forward, inhale, exhale, left elbow outer right thigh, and twist. Put your left hand down, turn sideways. Come into that side plank and just go up and down. And then pivot, left knee down, right hand grabs for left foot and twist. 5 breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you bring your left foot closer in. Maybe you kick your left foot away and roll, dial your left ribs down. Now stretch straight your right leg, flex the toes. Left hand, pinky side of right foot. But I'm really asking you to move into your left ribs. Swing your right leg over to the left. Stretching cat pose. Move your hips from side to side. Come back, child's pose. Toes to touch, knees wide. Walk your hands like spiders forward. And round and arch your back. Move your torso and ribs from side to side. And then twist and twist. Now this time, let's take our arms out to the side. So your arms are going to be parallel to your shoulders. Let me face the camera so you can see. So your arms are going to be parallel to your shoulders there. And I'm going to want you to come onto your left ear with your right hand back behind you. So we stretch into the pectorals of each side. Watch. Come down onto your belly. Bring there your left shoulder out. Roll onto the left earlobe and kick your right leg across. Five more breaths. And then come up. Let's do the second side. Let's do the side. Again, we're opening in this part of the body, the side ribs and the low back. This whole sequence is to offset the repetitive stress of standing, cooking. 5 breaths. And then come on out. Swing the hips from right to left and left to right. Reclining hero quad stretch. Also the tricep work. Roll the hips forward, squeeze the shoulders into the space behind the heart. Lift the chin chest. Go back as far as you are able. Curl the toes under. Left hand, left Achilles tendon. Move the right arm over to the left. Now stay onto the right kneecap. Step your left leg forward. Bring your right elbow across the outer left knee. And then pivot, come to turn into that side plank modify. I'm just moving into those side bodies. Do you see how this pose is very similar to the stretching cat pose? I love to do the same poses in different planes. So we have done this on our knee, now we're doing it on the foot, front foot, pinky side of back. And then pivot, right knee down, bend the right knee, reach back, left hand coaxes, right heel in. Either point the toes for a much more aggressive quad stretch or flex the foot and take the foot away from you. Come on, roll the left shoulder back. Mm-hmm. 5 breaths. Left leg stays, fold over that left leg. Bring the right hand to the pinky side of the left foot. Now move your hips a little to the left, but move your ribs to the right. And twist. And then let the left leg swing over to the side. And turn a little to the right. Ease on out of that. Gather yourself either several more blankets, or I happen to have my bolster. We're going to come into a visualization, meditation for the last little bit of our lightning rod session. Twine the hands up to the webbing, turn the palms inside out. Move in and out, in and out. A little bit of twist. And then from here, come and rest on your back. Have your legs draped over something, perhaps a little tiny neck roll or another pillow blanket underneath your head. And then just come and relax. Close the eyes. Inhaling for 4. Hold the breath for 6. And then exhale for 7. Inhaling for 4. Hold for 6. And exhaling for 7. Breathe normally. Inhaling when you like and exhaling when you choose. Now let's try this again. Inhaling for 4. Hold the breath for 6. And exhaling for 7. 2 more times. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Normal inhale. Normal exhale. Now, as you rest here, I want you to imagine walking on the most beautiful riverbank. The riverbank is to your left, and flanking your right side is the most green, emerald green forest. It's very cool and tranquil. And as you walk, the breeze blows the leaves in the trees, and little leaves are cascading down and down and gliding towards the lazy river. Let a wave of relaxation go over your body, like the waves that ripple on the flow of the easy river. A wave of relaxation across the temples and your head. Inhale and exhale. The wave of relaxation languid across your shoulders and lazily melting your shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale here. Melt your shoulders and your ribs. Inhale, the wave of relaxation glides across your abdomen and down over the hips, through the low back. Inhale and exhale. The lazy river brings currents of satisfying, sweet surrender around your shoulders, your elbows, and to the wrist and to the tips of the fingers. You have a heavy quality of floating relaxation. The lazy river of relaxation glides down through the thigh bones to the kneecaps, from the kneecaps to the shins, from the calves to the ankles, and relax even to the tips of the toes. Just relaxing here and breathe. Now, as the little leaves drift from the branches of the trees and glide on the wind, they chance to alight and float on the surface of the lazy river. As you walk along the lazy river in this visualization, you feel the slant of the sun at the perfect temperature, and the breeze that releases the leaves from the trees. That's the same breeze that relaxes the thoughts from your mind. And as the thoughts relax and release from your mind on every exhale, inhale, you're bringing in that sunshine quality. Exhale, more and more thoughts are shaking free from the branches and the tension points of your mind. And as you walk, you gaze at the little leaves on the surface of the river. They're like tiny boats. Relax again and soften and relax again. The next thought that comes into your mind, let it drift free and place it on one of the little leaves that is floating on the surface of the river. And let this leaf carry your thought down the tide and into the ocean and far away where it will be resolved and released for the good and benefit. Nowhere to go for you, nothing to do, but to walk on the lazy river and to breathe. Let yourself go towards deep sleep and relaxation. Should another thought come into your mind, on the exhale, let it go and let it drift away from you into another little leaf that floats on the surface of the lazy river. And again, this thought is gliding on the boat of the leaf and making its way far downstream. Another thought. On the exhale, send it away and let it fall upon the leaf that is waiting. And the thoughts will come and your breath will release the thoughts. And the thoughts will alight on the leaves. And you are breathing and you are noticing. Continue this visualization for as long as you are able. If you need to move on and get back to your holiday preparations, you can bend the knees, have a little windshield wipering of the knees, rolling over to one side and bringing yourself up to sit. And then once you sit, or maybe you're still in a deep relaxation, just sit and sit tall, making a little cupped hand, and into the one bed of the knuckles, place the other, join the thumbs together. Place your hands right across the little notch in your hips and relax your elbows. Lean back, close your eyes. May you be blessed and prosperous.